The recipe for high yields on AgDay is brought to you by Tendovo soybean herbicide, raising the pre-emergence bar one clean row at a time. See how Tendovo delivers weed control without compromise at syngentaus.com/Tendovo.
With the harvest wrapping up, farmers will quickly transition into looking at performance data to make some key agronomic decisions for the 2023 growing season. Many of them will also utilize information from their own on-farm trials and from university research to help them develop a recipe for higher yields. Kevin Kalb has broken the 400 bushel mark for corn various times on test plots on his farm. The 12-time NCGA Yield Contest winner says the competition pushes him to try new things.
You know, a lot of guys don't believe in yield contests, but I tell you what, that's where you learn what corn responds to by pushing the envelope. I mean, we probably kill 10, 15 acres every year of trying certain nutrients to know what's too much and what's not enough. So we do our fair share of testing on our farm.
Kalb says they also run their own hybrid plots and various on-farm trials and are relentless in their search for higher yields.
If there's something new out there that we think can give us a boost in the arm, you know, on these yields, we try it. You know, and normally we try it 2 years in a row before we take it to the rest of the farm acres.
Illinois farmer Alex Head says it's important to run a host of side-by-side trials on his farm to keep up with the ever-changing environment.
Things change, so you got to be on the leading edge of changing and looking at new practices. So every year we usually try something different.
This year that included planting early maturing soybeans.
To be honest, they've been some of our better beans so far. So yeah, I'm looking at planting some more early beans next year.
And with the 2022 harvest in the rearview mirror, Head says he'll evaluate all the data from their trials to determine the hits and misses.
Well, once we know harvest, we got yield maps and all that. We'll sit down and look at yield maps and planting maps and compare them and see what happens, see what we like, see what we didn't like, and go from there.
Leading land-grant universities are also helping farmers crack the high-yield code through their research.
One of the things that it's a national project that I'm working with called Science for Success with soybean agronomists from across the U.S. And we're looking at using nitrogen and sulfur, and if that can help us improve nitrogen fixation within that soybean plant.
He says it's still early, but the data is already showing some important trends.
We can apply a little bit of nitrogen and sulfur, and it doesn't necessarily hurt the nitrogen fixation from the soybean plant. But if we apply too much nitrogen in particular, that will drastically decrease that nitrogen fixation that occurs within the plant.
Lick says Iowa State has a network of growers across the state conducting on-farm trials on new products, practices, and technology to find the recipe for high yields.